Okay.
So, hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi,
Welcome.
Becky.
Hi, Beck. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, I want to get that back. I'm talking to myself as usual. I'm trying to get back. No, get back. Get back. Get back. Get back to where we once. That's something like that. Oh,
Hey, Mika.
good morning, Mika. Mhm. Oh, there it is. Huh. Nope. I found it, but it's still not the thing we're looking. Well, I'm looking for. Hi, Gail. Good morning. But it's still not the thing we're looking for. All right. Well, I won't mute this. Good morning. So lovely to see you, ladies. Hi. Well, say good morning to Owen from me too. Good morning, Owen. Are you enjoying the snow? Trying to stay warm? Um, hi. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, thanks, Janice. I'm glad it worked out that way. Gail, Chris, hello, Dixie. It's nice to see everybody found us.
Yeah. Did a little shuffle. So how is everybody faring in the they have a special name for the storm. Like his name is Elliot. That's the name of the storm, but they're also calling it. It's been classified as what they're calling a generational storm, um, which means, I guess, what's a generation? 10 years, 20 years.
I think.
So it's a generational storm, meaning it's not. It's once every in a generation, I guess. And there's another term they had for it too. Um, it's you just started getting snow. That's why I'm interested because I watched Ryan you all for hours, and it sounded like it should have hit you sooner. It just started snowing there, right, Carol?
I'm sorry.
Didn't it just start snowing in you
About an hour or so ago.
ago? Yeah, and I when I was listening to Ryan, I thought it was going to start like last night, minus
It's
six.
it's very super windy and the snow's going sideways, like
Yeah,
big time. My driveway's already drifting.
sure,
Hey,
absolutely.
Marty.
Marty and did I say goodbye? Hello to Janet and Nettie. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was listening to Ryan, and someone asked how much snow is there going to be in Toronto, and he said, "Well, Toronto's very interesting. Toronto's kind of like in a little pocket, and Toronto's probably not going to get more than 2 to 4 inches." And then he said, "But if you live around the Toronto area, look out. You're going to get clobbered." So that's why I asked you how far you were from Toronto,
Oh.
because he was saying, 2 to 4 feet. But hi, Dar. Good morning. Good morning. Have fun. Yeah. So I thought I would read this morning since this is kind of I'm starting off, so we can pretend it's me for a minute, and then we'll get into the fiber part of the stream, which I'm always excites me. And again, we're in the new book. All I really need to know I learned in kindergarten, and these have titles. Oh, good morning, Chris. I don't know whether I said good morning to you. And there were several I wanted to read, and I might read a second one because these are really short. Well, I'll see how you feel about the first one. And this is titled Mother Teresa. I'm a huge fan of Mother Teresa. Huge, huge fan. She died in 1997, and this essay was written 20 years ago. I removed it from the new manuscript, thinking the sentiments were shop worn and the events out of date, and Mother Teresa a fading memory. So you may well ask, why is the essay included here? Seeing it in the reject pile troubled me. I read it several times again, and I realized the essay was not about Mother Teresa so much as it was about me and all those who tried to resolve the inner conflict between self-interest and self-sacrifice. Trying to care about me and care about them and care about us at the same time is an ongoing bewilderment. Isn't that true? There was a person who profoundly disturbed my peace of mind for a long time. She didn't know me, but she went around minding my business. We had very little in common. She was an old woman, an Albanian who grew up in Yugoslavia. She was a Roman Catholic nun who lived in poverty in India. I disagree with her on fundamental issues of population control, the place of women in the world and in the church, and I was turned off by her naive statements about what God wants. People who claim to speak for God do more harm than good, if you ask me. She and her followers drove me crazy. They seemed so pious and self-righteous. I got upset every time I heard her name or read her words or saw her face. I didn't even want to talk about her. Who the hell did she think she was anyhow? However, in the studio where I used to work, there was a sink. Above the sink was a mirror. I stopped at this place several times each day to tidy up and look at myself in the mirror. Alongside the mirror was a photograph of the troublesome old woman. Each time I looked in the mirror at myself, I also looked in her face. I looked at her face. In it, I have seen more than I can tell. From what I saw, I understood more than I can say. I could not get her out of my mind or life. That photograph was taken in Oslo, Norway, on the 10th of December in 1980. This is what happened there. The small, stooped woman in a faded blue and white sari and worn sandals received an award from the hand of a king, an award funded from the will of the inventor of dynamite, in a great glittering hall of velvet, gold, and crystal, surrounded by noble and famous in formal black tie and elegant gowns, the rich, the powerful, the brilliant, the talented of the world in audience. And there, at the center of it all, this little old lady in sari and sandals, Mother Teresa of India, servant of the poor and sick and dying. To her, the Nobel Peace Prize. She was given the longest standing ovation in the history of the prize. No president or king or general or scientist or pope or banker or merchant or cartel or oil company or Ayatollah holds the key to as much power as she had. None is as rich, for hers was the invisible weapon against the evils of this earth, the caring heart. And hers were hers were the everlasting riches of this life, the wealth of the compassionate spirit. I would not do what she did or the way she did it, but her presence on the stage of the world dares me to explain just what the hell I will do, when and how, then and how and when. Several years ago, she won the Nobel Prize when I was attending a grand conference of quantum physics and religious mystics at the Oberoi Towers Hotel in Bombay. I saw her in person, standing by the door at the rear of the hall. I sensed a presence beside me, and there she was, alone. This tiny woman had come to speak to this conference as a guest. She strode to the rostrum and changed the agenda of the conference from intellectual inquiry to moral activism. She said in a firm voice to the awed assembly, "We can do no great things, only small things with great love." The contradictions of her life and faith were nothing compared to my own. And while I wrestled with frustration about the impotence of the individual, she went right on affecting the world. While I wished for more power and resources, she used her power and resources to do what she could do at the moment. Gandhi would have approved. He had some strange ways and habits of his own, but he did what he did. Mother Teresa disturbed me and inspired me, and still does. What did she have that I do not? If ever there is a truly peace on earth, goodwill to men, it will be because of women like Mother Teresa. In watching the millions of women marching in the streets of the world this winter, I was reminded that peace is not something you wish for. It's something you make, something you do, something you are, something you give away. You begin with what you have, where you are, and pass it on. Mother Teresa is dead now, of course. Would you have wanted me to omit this essay because she's gone? Or leave it in, or leave it out because I couldn't settle my own mind about me and them and us? That's the point, isn't it? What she stood for, is not out of date or worn out. It lives on as a challenge, not in her, in me, in you, in us. So, his reflections on Mother Teresa. Mixed feelings, I would say. She drove him crazy, but there was no denying what she did. So that's kind of, I have, sometimes there are people like that in your life that you just, they drive you crazy. She was an incredible woman. So, thank you.
Great story.
Yeah. Now, are you ready? Can I read a real short one for you?
Oh, sure, go for it.
A real short one, and it may sound sacrilegious to you, but I think it's hysterical. But that's my sense of humor. Okay. It's called Mary's Dad. Okay. I wonder about Jesus's maternal grandfather, Mary's dad. He's never mentioned, but he must have existed. Whatever your theological position, the Bible was peopled with human beings just like the rest of us. Imagine, Mary's dad comes home from work one day. His wife and his teenage daughter are sitting at the kitchen table. His wife looks grim. The very air of the room feels heavy. Mary has her head in her arms, weeping. Welcome home, Daddy. So? She's pregnant, moans the wife. So? Joseph, I suppose? They are betrothed, after all. Oh, no, that would be too easy. Your daughter doesn't do easy. Who then? She says, I swear to God, she says, get this. An angel of the Lord came to me in the night. She claims a guy wearing feathers snuck into her room and did what he did, right? Not only that, she says the baby's real father is God. Right. What do you mean, right? Did you hear what I said? Actually, no, the father has not really been paying attention. This day-end crisis reporting happens all the time. He comes home tired from work. His wife and daughter are having a scene in the kitchen. She says this. She did that. I did not. Yes, you did. Yada, 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 yada. Suddenly, the father's brain recognizes what his ears have heard. What the hell did you say? It wasn't the last time he said that. For years afterwards, it was the same. Jesus' maternal grandfather would come home from work. His wife would be waiting. Well, Grandpa, guess what he did today, your grandson? Water into wine, walking on water, loaves and fishes, healing here, healing there, all the rest, yada, yada, yada. It must have made it hard for the old man to sit quietly by while the rest of his friends bragged about their grandchildren. That's nothing, he would say. Wait until you hear this. You won't believe it. And they never did. I can testify on this score. Nobody ever believes what a grandfather says about his grandchildren. Nobody even wants to know. It must be even worse if you claim your grandson is the anointed one and the Son of God who walks on water, right? I hope I didn't offend anybody. I thought this was hysterical. I often wonder about what that scene must have been like. So, okay, everyone's cool. All right, no one's upset. I'm sorry. I think
it's all a story.
The story, yes, and I like his take on it. Okay, so Carol, this is Fiber Friday.
Fiber Art Friday.
Yes,
and I'm hosting today.
Yes, I am. I'm so excited. And Lily, it's too early. I know you. Yes, I am very excited. And you think that Anne's hosting. You go, oh my God, Anne's hosting. What is she going to do? Well, I'm going to stitch. And stitch and stitch and stitch and stitch. And let's see, everyone under the weather. But I'm sorry you're under the weather. That's too bad. Bumbling Buddhist.
Christy.
Okay.
Bumbling Buddhist is Christy. Sorry you're not feeling well. Hopefully your daughter's feeling better too.
Yes. Yeah. Christy. Okay. I knew that and then forgot it, which happens. And you liked the story. Thank you. Well, you enjoyed it. Good. All right. Actually, I can't believe it, Carol, but about a year ago, where did that time go?
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it all started way back here.
I know. About a year ago, Carol showed us this thing, this scroll, a calendar scroll or a scroll, and then she showed us the one that she had done the year before. And,
the journal scroll.
Well, yeah, and that was last January.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that now it's like the middle of December. And
we need to get caught up.
So that's what's going on. But I can't believe, here's the January one for me. Whoops, you can't see because I've got wait a minute. Let's see. Look at this. I wonder what it would be like to have double the workspace.
I know, really.
It would be unique, wouldn't it? I could have a lot more workspace, but
you know what happens though? If you have more workspace, you still keep filling it up.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. It just gets bigger and bigger for sure. So I can't believe it's almost a year ago where the guy broke my window with the golf ball.
Yeah, isn't it fun to look back and think, what did we actually do?
Yeah. Now, the first couple of ones were really awesome. So there's yours for January. This is mine. Lily had caught a lizard. The lizards, when it's cold out in Florida, they love to try to get in the house. And we were talking about my 68 red Volkswagen Bug. So I did that. I did caged fishes, January scavenger hunt. So this is a little fish stamp that I made, and I had a die cut for a bird cage. So that's caged fish. This came from Ruth, Heart by Ruth. And a sun. Now, I don't know why I put the sun in. I have no idea. So it gets a little fuzzy. And what do you have on yours for January?
Well, January has a variety of things for me. It has the journal that I created up here, and it was cold, and so I put that there. And I started in January doing, more YouTubing, reestablishing, just getting things going again. And it was really fun to start that. And I've come a long way since then. It's been a lot of fun. And then I just was teaching, I started doing it every Saturday. And now we've changed to Friday because, we had the opportunity. So I was teaching, how to do applique and different stitches. And this reminded me of all the neurographic art that was out there. That's when it started getting very, very popular. So I decided to stitch all of a neurographic art and put it on my scroll because, that's what I was doing at the time. And then I also did a free stitch camp, which was so much fun. I really enjoyed doing that stitch camp. And that's what I did for January.
Yeah. That is so cool. And then February, I think we stitched with the trees outside our windows.
Yep, outside my window.
And
I thought you were going to do your February.
Oh, my February, I did, and I live in Florida, so I had a palm tree. I have a palm tree out side my window, so I did a palm tree, and I have bunny rabbits out in the back in the early morning. I sit out there having my coffee, and watch the bunnies, and I've got ducks and sandhill cranes and all of that. So this was my February, and then we did an exchange with various folks. And of course, I didn't write down who they're from. My bad. But I sewed those on in February. And then I tried to do that little star thing I think you did.
Yeah.
I had trouble with the little star thing, but I tried it. Now, Carol did new stitches almost every week. And I did not. I ended up, I guess I cheated in the sense that I just
She stayed in her comfort zone.
yeah, thank you. I mean, I did a little. This is satin, and that's a little more comp. And I do have some French knots. I did French knots for the bunny tail, but beyond that, I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, but this is my February. All right, Carol.
Well, my February, I got a new phone.
Uh-huh.
And February was the pups' birthdays.
Uh-huh.
And I got 2 days. And this was a sunflower I did for Ukraine.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And then I was doing stitching, and I did a painting in my encyclopedia journal that I was doing on the encyclopedia pages, and I did these lights, and I thought they were really cool, so I did them on my stitch here. And if I lose power, it's because mine's blinking right now, and I'm in the middle of the storm. But I also did a postcard that I sent off to Janet Nash with her prompts, and I put these on there as well. And then I taught how to do the stitches and the snow on the outside my window. And then again, everybody was so generous. I wasn't in the swap, but everybody sent me a piece. So my journal starts taking a transition from more to instead of a journal scroll for a detailed journal scroll to a friendship scroll. It started changing because people started sending me things for the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we did all our stars and our different types of weaving that we did. And then when somebody started sending me things, I started creating things and put it on. And that's where my February ended.
That's so fun, isn't it? It's so fun. And oh, wow. Oh, this is March and April. I did stitch these two together. Okay, so March, I was working on my Alice in Wonderland journal, and I finally finished it. My birthday was March 25th, so I did a little birthday cake. Hockey sticks in number 6. That's my grandson's number, and he plays hockey. So, Carol was really good. She kept on saying, it doesn't have to be anything big, just a little thing that happened. It doesn't have to be super. So I started to take that mindset too. And I just started to think about, and I did. And I went out to Utah in March to see him play hockey during a hockey tournament. So it was kind of fun that you just kind of pick up bits and pieces and you add it, and it's a journal, and with things that you've done or things that you like. So mine are getting shorter at this point. So here's March. So Carol, your March is beautiful.
My March was a bunch of fabrics that I've collected and things that people have sent in, just little simple envelopes, which was so nice. And I appreciate each and every one of you who have done that. And hello to everybody that's come in. Sorry I was not watching chat,
Oh, hi, Safia. That's my fault. I should.
And Sophia and Becca and, everybody who's come in, Rebecca. Hello. But this represents our art community, our stitching community. It represents each and every one of you. And that's what I wanted this to be, my memory scroll, my journal memory scroll, because to me, it shows, all of the different types of people that can be together and enjoy each other's creativity and art and being so considerate and loving, and each and every one of you are. And then I got sick. So I did a little guy here, and I made him green and I covered it over.
Oh, wow.
And then Nettie sent some stuff, and I've been putting their names next to things, and I put everybody's little names inside things who sent me what. So as I look back, you can see who gave what.
Yeah, I wish I had done that.
This is a memory of my childhood, of the kitchen where we used to have to take baths in the tin tub. So this is what that was. And I painted on here, showed how to paint and just accent with stitches if you don't want to stitch a whole thing. Then we keep going. March is longer. We got Becky, we started doing some houses, and Becky, because I did these houses, everybody else was making houses, and Becky sent me a house. And then I was teaching the tatted butterflies. And I do have a video on there with the stitches that you could do to do the tatting. And then I showed how to do silk ribbon embroidery. This is a memory from my son with the teddy bear. And then I was making some fabric postcards, and I just cut this one here to fit in this spot. So that represents what I was doing there. Oh, I said my march just continues all the way over to here. And these wings I did and beaded, and I showed how to do the beading. And these represent the month that March, Easter, for that my father died. So that was in memory of him. And then it transitions into April.
Oh, wow. I love this transition. Yeah, you got the flowers and okay. That's beautiful. I transitioned. I went from March to April too. And here's my April. Again, I'm not a great stitcher. This was a postcard that I got from Allison, I think. And I did a butterfly, and this butterfly here is actually cut out of a soda can with a die cut, and then and I sewed that on top of that. And I had this little piece of a duck, and we were making these little. I think Becky made this. I think we were making what were we calling these? We made these little pins, and we sent them around. We swapped them, but I don't remember. And I made one. I made one, and I sent mine to Janet, I think, but I can't remember. Power bleep. Hi, Beth. Good morning. Good morning to you. And then here I just cut out a flower out of one of my pieces of material, and then I sewed onto it. Again, I have some French knots and just practicing and stuff like that. And then that's April. And unfortunately, that's kind of where I've left off. No, actually, no. But you go do May. Do May.
Do April.
So, do April. Oh,
yeah, my April was a mushroom and found objects that was outside. And this was bark that I found laying around. And I thought that looked like a turtle. And then I showed how to stamp on your your material, and then accent with French knots to create the texture. And then I also did this was needle lace. and made it 3D onto my scroll, and how to do, a little bit more of the silk ribbon and embroidery.
That's beautiful.
And then into May.
Yeah. Do you want to do your May, and then I'll do my May?
Okay. So this one, I had some different types of things that I was looking at the Tilly Rose book of how to create and embellish and enhance your fabrics using different types of things. And some of this stuff was given by Deb Farrell, and I think she's in the chat, or was. Hi, Beth. I see you. So Deb Farrell had sent these, and then I added my tatted butterfly. And this is yarn that I crocheted and then I couched down to create another look. And this is from Deb Farrell too. It's a, what are they called? Specimen card with a real flower inside.
Oh, yes.
And then I got this one, and I created this myself, this little pin with the heart. And then we're up to June.
Okay. All righty. Now my May is getting it again. I'm getting smaller and smaller, but this is a piece. This is a piece from a canter quilt that I bought from Rosemary, and it was for like a double bed. I have a queen, so I bought another canter quilt and I cut it in half, and I sewed 2 sections on either side to make the original quilt bigger. So I had some pieces left over. So that's what this is. And I had some scraps. So I cut these flowers out here, and then and it's hard to see them, but then I sewed them on here. And then, thank you, Julia. This friendship cloth postcard came from Julia DeLoca. Yeah, and she lives in the same town that Janet Nash lives in. So that's all I have for May. So, Carol, June. Do we lose Carol?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, that's all I have for May.
All right. I just got a message, so I had to check it out. All right, sorry about that. So June, I joined in another group that was doing a bunch of little old ladies with attitude, and this was little doll that they create, and they're all called little old ladies with attitude, these dolls, and they're actually 3D. And because I've been doing this, I thought I would add one of the little old ladies with attitude on here.
Oh, that's so cute.
And then it was just general stitching with flowers, and I was doing a bee and showing how to do the feather stitch, which I still have to get my black thread out and finish so the rest of the bee can be done. And then there was another postcard I created.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did some stenciling on my fabric, and I was showing how to create hexagons that you could use to put together, and then you can create a backing where you can put stuff in. Oh. And then it says, trust your path. Everybody needs to trust their own path. And then Becky was doing this is when Becky started her Tunisian crochet. So that's what that was. And this is July.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Well, so, I'm running out because May, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now June. And here's Deb's specimen card and a cat hair. And
I have husky fluff.
Yep. And here's a little cute thing that someone sent me. Again, I don't know. I should have written it down. I think the mushrooms. This may have come from either Becky or Janet. This is your dragonfly. You have a lot of material that has dragonflies on it, and I very carefully cut out the dragonfly and then again just straight stitched it on because that seems about what my skill level is at this point in time. And this is a vellum piece of vellum that I sewed on. It's amazing. You can sew paper, and I sewed aluminum onto mine too. So, and here is one of my attempts at crochet. I am still trying to learn how to crochet. So I have little pieces of crochet that I curl up and just stick on here. And then some bee fabric, I guess.
Yeah, bee lace.
No, I don't think it's that. It's a it's not lace. It's
Oh, it's
just
stamped on canvas.
stamped on a canvas like a
Oh,
roll.
that's cool. I really like that.
Yeah, I bought a wide roll of this. With the thought that I would do some stamping on it. I haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, Carol is very talented. Boy, when you give a thread and needle in her hand, the stuff that she can produce is just amazing. So I only got as far as June. So, and then when we started doing these, I did them in sections like this. And then when it's all done, I will stitch it together. So, because it's much easier to handle like one panel at a time than to handle the whole thing. And I will probably stitch these together using my sewing machine.
Yeah, I did that on some of mine. I did, but some of them I hand stitched.
Yeah. But, well, that's true. Marty says you don't have to stick them together. No, you wouldn't really.
No, you don't. You can make a book out of it.
Yeah, it'd be easy to make a book because you just
Yeah,
kind of stitch it right down.
just do the one side.
Yeah.
But I did it so I could put on one of those wooden spools.
Right. And I have one of those wooden spools, and that's
The
what I
other thing you could do is create a fabric book out of it just by, if it is a scroll, just by going like this and folding it all over.
Yeah.
But this is my July. I used some lace here, and I think it had a netting in it too, and it came like this. And I turned it into, it almost looks like a snail. But I figured this was called Deb's Garden because Deb again sent me these little things.
Oh, cool.
So this is Deb's Garden. So she sent me all this in a happy mail. And then Kimberly sent me these things. So I put that stuff there from Kimberly, a little teddy bear button, which is so precious. Moving on to August, I carved a bee stamp and I stamped it onto my fabric.
Okay.
And then Becky had sent me this little heart that she was creating. This came from Allie Cousins. So she sent me some stuff in the mail. So I put this onto my scroll.
That must be from Ellie then.
And here we are in September, and Becky did some owls. Remember all those owls Becky was doing?
Yes.
She was making all those stuffed owls. Wasn't it just amazing?
Was.
So, and then we started our Inspired By series.
Oh, yeah.
This is the little book that represents our Inspired By.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I did that, and then I am now up to October, and October was a sad month because we lost our Luna Moon that month.
Yeah.
She got very, very sick, and this heart came as a friendship heart from Janet Nash and Freddie, as a thinking of you because of. So October is Luna Moon's month. So I'm just working on now doing the lettering and that, and then I have November and December that I need to get together. I thought I started November, and if I did, I can't find it right now.
Well, that's the crafter's dilemma, right?
Yeah. So Anne, you're I know you're hosting Fiber Art Friday today. Show us, again, some of the things that you've stitched.
Well, I really haven't stitched. Well,
Well, you did we used materials. Now, fiber arts doesn't necessarily mean you have to stitch. Fiber art can be ironing things together, gluing things together, putting things down on a piece of another fabric and collaging. So, it doesn't have to be stitched.
well, that's true. Hang on one second.
Fiber arts takes on multiple arts. It fibers are can be yarn, they're threads, they're weaving, they're making lace. It's anything that has fibers in it. Fibers could also be grass that's turned into weavings. It's fiber. It's so versatile, and that's what I love about having the Fiber Art Fridays, that it is a multi functional art, that so many different things. And for the new year, Anne and I have been sitting down and collaborating. We have so many exciting things that are going to be coming to you in the new year. It's I can't wait. I can't wait. So I do hope that you'll subscribe to both of us and continue coming to visit with us. And you know what? If you can't make the live, you'll have time that you can just watch the replay. That's it. That's the one nice thing about having the internet is, if you don't have the time to sit and watch all the time, you can watch whenever you want to.
Oh, stop it.
And that's just perfect.
I did. I'm sorry. I was,
She lost what she wanted to show us.
well, I wasn't expecting to bring this out, but this is something I started before I hooked up with Carol. And so it is a kind of a fiber book. And let's see. Let me go make us equal again. Equal. Let's see, equal. Let's go. Come on. Sometimes today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this was like we were talking about, and I bought, if you want really cheap material, I bought a canvas painter's drop cloth, and that's a lot of material. And this is what this is. This is a canvas drop cloth. I think I got 5x6 or 8x6. It's a huge piece of canvas. But I started stitching in this, not really knowing. This was some fabric that wasn't really fabric. It was something that the piece of furniture was wrapped in. And I drew the little houses with the Inktense pens.
Oh,
And
cool.
then I sewed it on here, and I did the stitch. This is, if some of you might recognize this, it's pretty beaten up, but this is one of Barb Owen's cards. The inspiration cards that she has. And I bought 2 of those decks so I could cut up one. And then here, this is I did houses. Before you did house, I did this. I did all of this before I did that. Before I did the scroll. So again, I cut out little tiny pieces of fabric and made a little house. And and then I guess I had the gold, and I did this again. And this was something from Defy. It was a thing that was already made, so I stitched it on there. And let's see where else. Well, maybe that's I guess that's as far as I got. I guess. Oh, this was going to be the cover of it, I guess. Tea bags, of course. And then the other thing I did, and then everybody helped me. That's what's so great. Everybody helps. Oh, look, this is material. Oh, I can use this. Ooh, ooh,
Ooh, isn't that pretty?
oh, I made that. I stitched that together. Oh, I forgot I made that. All right. That's when I finally got doing my sewing machine. I think Becky sent me this lovely kitty.
Oh, that's cool. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. And then the other thing I made, because we were, it was Mandela. What did I do with it? You better be kidding me. I just walked out here, right? Oh, it's in my lap. So everyone was, Barb Owen was doing mandalas, and I thought I would try a cloth mandala. And I didn't know what to do with it. And then the lady showed me how to make one of these kind of pillow things. You can stick a pillow in here. I didn't know how to do that. I had also bought a bunch of dish towels, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But here's the mandala that I stitched. And
I like that. That is really cool.
just little pieces of material.
Can you make yourself bigger so we can see that better?
I will do that. Go like that, right? And then drag me over here. Mm. So, whoops.
That is really cool. That is such a cool idea.
Yeah, it was, again, you can see that there's really no, like a mandala. The only thing is the same as this circle is all this basically the same shape, right? And this circle is all pie pieces, like pie pieces. And then, of course, the buttons. And I had a little elephant, and I actually had some lace and with the pearls in it, and I cut that up so that they are evenly distributed. And these were like little flowers that kind of, and it could be if I put a pillow in this, because it's, again, it has this opening. And there's a name for this, and I don't remember what the name of it is. Do you?
It's an envelope.
Oh, is that what it's called? It's an envelope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And again, just scraps. And dish towels. I bought a bunch of them. They're cotton, and they have black stripes, green stripes, red stripes. And I have 18 of them, folks. 18. I don't know what. So I'm thinking, Carol and I were talking quilts. I'm thinking I could sew those all together and use those for a back to a quilt where I just randomly sewed material. So I guess I have been doing a little stitching. Oh, should I show them my chance, my Barbara Owen tote bag?
Oh, yes, yes.
That's similar to this. I didn't realize I've actually done so much stitching. I guess the point is your skill level, you can be anywhere. You can be highly skilled like Carol, or you can be a hack like me and still have fun.
I just have fun. I've just been doing it for mega years.
Right.
I just love that.
So whoops, falling stuff. So this is, Barb Owen was selling, what do they call it, merch for a while. And I guess she still is. And I bought this tote bag, and the outline of Chance was on it. So again, my scraps of material, I cut them to fit into Chance. And then the thing I like the best about this is I did his name, and I actually did the shadowing around the letters.
I like that.
To give it some depth. And I was very proud of that.
So look at this. This is what we have coming up in the new year.
We're doing kind of stuff like this. Yep.
Anne's gonna show us her process of Fiber Art Fridays. And we're going to do it Anne's style.
Lily, come help me. No, just kidding. But this is a nice tote bag, and I did show it to Barb, but unfortunately, Clausman had been very sick, and it just died when all of this was going on. So I doubt she ever really saw it, which is understandable. There was so much going on in her life. But these tote bags are really nice. They're huge, nice canvas, and they even have a pocket at the top of them. So
A very nice project bag.
yeah, if I can snap it. Well, never mind. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, this kind of stuff. Again, there's nothing here. I mean, talk about scraps.
But that's the fun of it, and that's what we are going to do.
Yes, I think so.
We are going to have some fun. The new year is going to be jam-packed between, all of us. We're going to have so many different things we're going to get to try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's going to be fun. So I think it's time to sew. What do you think? You old so-and-so? Now I have these other pieces. This is from Carol. And I'm so glad because Carol did the right thing. As always, she did the right thing. She signed it. Thank you, Carol.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is March. Look, it says March 2022.
So you could add it to your scroll.
It's going to go in my scroll, and it's probably going to be, it's going in my scroll. Definitely. It's gorgeous. It's got sparkles and lace and bling and this beautiful stitching here. Yeah. And again, it's a lot of scrappies, right? It looks like a lot of scrappies.
Yep.
Little pieces of stuff sewn together in a very artistic, of course, manner. And then I have, this is, we made owls. We made owls again in Aunt Beck's, right? And that was, we made your owls. That's right, your owls. And those owls came out really cool. And you did some really neat stitches and for their wings and their beaks. And I quite didn't manage to get that, but I did manage to make an owl. And so he's going to go, if it doesn't even look like it. Well, it kind of still looks like it. But he's going to go we just did this, right? Didn't we just do this? Like this month? Would this count as December? Carol?
I'm sorry?
Would this count as December? We did these owls in December, right?
Yeah, we did. I think I did that on something. You know what? I think I did that on a.
It was a Friday, Fiber Art Friday.
Yeah, I did, but I stitched it on a collage of things that I created.
Yes. Yeah. So this guy is going to go in my scroll. He's a little wonky, but that's okay. So actually, I have a couple of things that I can add to my scroll. I received this from somebody in the mail. Now I don't know who. And it's somebody else's embroidery. It must have been obviously a larger piece of embroidery that someone sent and cut up. And I saw this in somebody else's artwork too. So this, whatever this is, there's pieces of it floating around, but I'm going to stitch this down too. I love this. And I actually did crewel work. I had crewel kits. And at one point in time, I could do this kind of stuff. So, anyway. And then got a Carol hexagon. That's all nicely stitched.
Yeah. Yes. I just finished doing a lot of my bordering on my hexagon quilt.
Yes. Yep. And then I got this from Lena.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to, again, it's paper, but I'm going to stitch that on my scroll too. And that's something.
I'll be right back, Anne. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. And that's one thing I never in a million years thought to do or thought you could even do. I never thought that you could sew paper. Now I know I can sew paper because we sew paper all the time when we're doing our paper craft and paper stuff art. We sew stuff all the time, but I never in a million years thought you would sew paper onto like a journal or something like this. And I've sew paper on here all the time. And this is paper, and this is paper, and I never thought you could do that, and now I know you can, and it's great. So that opens, and then I actually again I like to save my pop cans, and I cut them apart, and people get nervous and they say, "Aren't you going to cut yourself?" Well, I've never cut myself. And you just have to be careful. And I end up with sheets of aluminum foil or aluminum, whatever. I guess the cans are still made out of aluminum. They're not made out of tin. And I run them through my die cut machine. And I make die cuts out of the aluminum. And that's what I did. I have that butterfly. And this butterfly went through. I have a butterfly. Actually, it's an embossing folder that had butterflies, and I put the tin can in the embossing folder, and it was strong enough to actually cut through the aluminum can. So that's another piece of material, stuff that you can use, like this. Let me see if I have some in here I can show you.
Not bad.
Hello?
Sorry.
Everything okay?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, we are being rudely talked about.
Oh, well, that's okay. It's a free world. So here are other things that I've cut out of aluminum cans. Die cuts, and they're so pretty. And this is just an aluminum can. So I would highly recommend trying that. I mean, that's something that could be stitched. You could stitch that on. But these are die cuts that I have. And that's a can of soda. And so that's, and then I have the little frames. Anyway, I was just talking about different things that you don't think that you can sew onto material. I mean, you can pretty much sew anything on. And don't be limited just to cloth. Paper, right? So we know that. That's all. Don't be distracted. We are here now. And I'd like to stitch some stuff on my scroll.
Yes. Yeah, I started a little bit this morning stitching my words because I'm like really far behind. But
Well, I'm in July, so you know what? It's fine. Someone got Gail's dander up. Okay. You did? Oh, okay. Safia's father, I think, brought the boys a model of a pirate ship. And it's huge, and it's out of like heavy, like cardboard stuff. And she showed it to me yesterday, and apparently they finished it. Wow. That is so cool. Now, yeah, it's at least 24 inches tall. And that's including the mast. Now, if you decide whether you're going to paint it or not. Now, you have your pictures of it? Would you post the pictures in Instagram, did you say? I think.
Good morning, Mary. Monkey Mary.
I want to see that. Yeah, that's amazing. So I think I saw Instagram. I think she said, yes, posted in On my stories on Instagram. Okay, sounds great. I'll go check that out because that is amazing. And the fact that everybody kind of worked on it was fun. That's a neat thing to do. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Let's see, Gail. Unless I'm missing what Carol said. I don't know. Let's see. I have just learned why I keep missing your streams, Anne. Oh, no, you don't. I'm just hosting today. That's why. I'm usually on what? What day am I on?
Sundays.
Mondays. I don't even know. Yeah. Yeah, we're hanging out. Yep. So I'm gonna stitch something. I'm gonna stitch something. And because it's a stitching day. And we were supposed to finish up because
Yeah.
so let's do some stitching. And guys, if you haven't done anything like this and it's the new year coming, it might be a time to think about maybe doing something like this. Again, you don't have to have a whole lot of skill because I certainly don't. And since I couldn't do a lot of the stitches, I just cut out pictures or just drew things simply. And the other thing Carol didn't tell you that you can do is you can obviously draw on your material and you can paint use the Inktense blocks, right?
Well, yeah, you can use any fiber art paint, fiber mediums, fabric paints, and your Inktense. Your Inktense won't come out. It won't, it's on there permanently.
Yeah. And the nice thing about that is you don't have to have a special paint. You don't have to have a fiber paint.
No, you don't. You could use a fabric medium too. And it's good to heat set your paints and turn it over and heat set it from the back. And that way it makes it more permanent when you heat set things.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So that's a step that you really should take the time to do.
You should. I didn't, but you should. because I know that I'm not going to wash my scroll.
Well, I know I'm not going to wash this. So I guess if you know you're not going to wash it, then you can be less careful with it, I guess.
Becca comes on at 11.
Yeah.
Becca comes on at 11 and Lena comes on at 12. So there's plenty of people out there that are streaming, and you know what? Enjoy each and every one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now I don't know what this is. February, got me confused. February, March, April, May. This must be June. All right. So I need a hunk of material for July. And you know what? I'm just going to start stitching some stuff that I have lying here. And if it came in July, that's great. And if it didn't, that's great too. Because I just want to get the stuff stitched down and kind of have a sense of closure. And I found Lily. You are pathetic. If you don't
I'm
know,
really happy everybody's here for Fiber Art Friday, because with the opportunity that gave us the little chance to stream on Fridays, and the reason I chose 9 o'clock was because I thought it was more fitting for me. And when people are only impromptu, it doesn't mean, people are streaming every day when you're impromptu. So I chose that time because it worked out for me, and because I know some people start at 11 and 12, and I wanted to be able to work it in the middle, so I wasn't, or the stream wasn't interfering with too many people. But impromptus mean occasionally. It doesn't mean all the time. It's not scheduled. We decided to have a regularly scheduled, and I put this out there on November 30th before we even started. And then we streamed. There was nobody talking about or talking to us about the things that we've put notifications out. We explained the times we were going to come on. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and accepting all of the different people that are out there. And we appreciate you. And I hope you enjoy our Fiber Art Fridays, because they're going to continue. So that's my little story.
Yes. Okay. All righty. Again, we're all trying to,
Exactly, Beth. Exactly. So many people stream at the same times, and it's not right to put anybody down. And as far as that's concerned, nobody has used anybody or has done things maliciously. It was never, nobody intended anything of that nature. And I think that we're here to just have fun. And exactly, Andrea, we're all here to take the higher ground. It's time that, people understand that things aren't done maliciously. And if people are thinking, if people are thinking that people are doing things for a reason, they're highly mistaken, because I've been streaming for 8 or 9 years. And if I were the type of person to use anyone or take advantage of anyone, you would think I would have an abundance of subscribers and an abundance of hours. I'm I'm not here for that. And I know you're not here for that. Yes, I was streaming back on Ustream days, but if I were taking, and as some people say, using people, it's not happening. I would be higher up in my hours and everything. And there are plenty of other people that have mega, 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 mega subscribers that, it's just not happening. It's not why I'm here. It's not why I chose the 9 o'clock time. Impromptus are not scheduled streams. So I have a definite time, and I will be here. And I am so happy you're all here. And thank you, Anne, for putting up with me.
No, it's okay. It's been rough, and it's hard when it's not fair, and the accusations are not fair. They're not true. And you can look up the definition of I went and looked up the definition of impromptu, and it means unplanned, spur of the moment. So we're looking at a scheduled streamer versus an impromptu stream. The scheduled streamer really takes precedence over I think I'm going to go on. And typically, if you're going to do an impromptu, you try to look around to see whether anybody else is on, or technically you don't have to. You just go on. And no one can be used unless they allow it. That's right, absolutely. And so, Carol, we made a shift. It was a smooth, seamless shift when there was a sequence of events, and I'm sure you're all aware of the sequence of events. Lori was Friday. Colleen and Kathy Berg decided to consolidate and only stream one day a week. So Colleen vacated her Thursday morning's time. So she went over to Kathy Berg, 10 o'clock Tuesday. So now that Thursday morning slot was open. Lori, Painty Girl Lori, decided she wanted that Thursday morning slot, and that vacated Lori's spot that was on Friday. I know this is complicated. So Lori left Friday open. Carol really decided we were going to do a Fiber Art Friday. It sounds good. It made perfect sense. So we went into that time slot that was vacated by Lori. End of story. It's a scheduled time, 9 o'clock for Fiber Art Friday. And that was the sequence of events. And this all started November. So if any of you are confused by all of this, that's really the sequence of events. It was a very seamless, very it was discussed, and everyone was very happy about the shift.
And it was put out prior to streaming the dates and the times, and it was never questioned, and it was even promoted.
Yeah.
It was even, told that we stream at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and what my new schedule is going to be.
Yeah.
Our new schedule, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's and there's replays. Absolutely, Beth. And no, I think you guys kind of all understand the sequence of events and what transpired. And if you go back even further, there were some other shifts that happened. Yeah, I was, when Colleen, I think Safia mentioned that Colleen initially was on Friday, and then she went to Thursday. And that kind of, I loved watching Colleen, but I had set up that craft and chat room on Thursday, and that had been running for a couple of months when she went to Thursday, which meant I couldn't participate in her craft and chat. So I was kind of sad about that. But I figured I would watch the replays and I would catch them on Kathy. So now I personally am thrilled that they're together on one day a week, and that works out for me. So I can tell you that for sure. But
that's true, Becca. We don't know it. Well, some we do know, but you have to stream what works for you. And you're not exactly, nobody's being rude to go on when somebody else is on. It's just, there's only so many hours in the day.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. And again, it's a free space, and we're free to go where we want to go. And that's, there's nothing.
I know, Gail, I do the same thing. You come and go from a lot of streams, and you watch and you support the best you can. And yes, Beth, it's great. Replays are awesome.
Yeah. Because nice thing about replays is you can scrub through stuff that you don't want to say. You don't want to hear what I'm reading, and you can just scrub through that, or yeah, it gives you. I mean, the viewer has a lot of, the viewer's pretty lucky. The viewer has an enormous amount of variety, and to choose from. And it's great. As a viewer of the tube, we're lucky. So that's what's going on. And, everyone needs to, untangle their panties and get it over.
Grow up.
If your panties are in a knot, then unknot them and get over it. I mean, I know, that's how I talk.
Yep. So anyway, with that being said, let's get on with the stitching.
I'm gonna stitch. Damn it! I'm tired of all this shit. Excuse me.
You and me both. It's.
And I'm so glad that you have power.
Yes, I still have power.
I thought for sure.
Let's just say the snow is sideways.
Yeah. I always wonder when you see those sideways snow, you have to wonder, it stops somewhere, and it usually stops on the side of a house or a building or a tree, and then you have those snow banks. We used to love the snowbanks. We used to love the snowbanks because that's where we would jump up and down on them and try to pack down the snow as best as we could. And then we would make an igloo. And then we would hollow it out.
Yay, Janice. I love that. Go where you want to go. Do what you want to do. Oh.
Okay, that's going to work. It's not. I was sober when I cut that, so I just want you to know that's pretty. Oh boy. Speaking of being sober, this is a really weird transition, but you know how I am. New Year's Eve streamathon.
Oh yes. When are you streaming, Anne?
Speaking of sober, no, I will be sober-ish. No,
Ish. We're going to have an ish day.
it's I'm on from 9:30 to 11:30, and yeah, they hid that comment about panties, so I had to show it.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, I have to laugh because the internet allows those sleazeballs in those X-rated, dating sites, but they won't allow panties. I mean, let's get a grip. Now Becca's running around with no panties on there. Yeah. Well, did you get them on? Did you get them out of a knot? That's important. Most important thing, Rebecca. If you got them untied, you got them out of a knot, and you're all good. You don't want any knotted panties.
Sophia, yes, we will. We're going to have a wonky upside down page on New Year's.
Yes. I stream again from 9:30 to 11:30.
Teresa. Oh my God. Teresa says, I watch when I can and who I enjoy watching. No underoo in a bunch. Ouch.
Oh, Rebecca, Beth just is accusing her of having her pants off. Well, that's a little bit too much information, Beth. I don't really...
Oh my God.
We're going to have fun. And Carol has graciously agreed to be on with me from 9:30 to 11. She's going to take a nap. Carol is an early to bed, early to rise gal. So
yes, I am. I'm gonna stream with Anne, and then New Year's Day I'll be on from 8:30 to 10:30. You can't go outside; you'll blow away. And Anne's gonna stream with me, so we're gonna have a blast.
We'll see how much trouble we can get in.
Yes, we do things and we get into trouble anyway.
So let's see if we can really cause some trouble. I'm thinking for Carol's stream, it would be Bloody Mary time.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
Or as in Canada, they don't, a Bloody Mary is not what we call a Bloody Mary in the United States. They call our Bloody Mary a Caesar. Did everybody know that? I learned that just the other day. For a Bloody Mary in Canada is a tomato and beer, right? Mixed together? Or
no, it's vodka, clamato juice. It's one of these.
Oh, that's a Bloody Mary?
No, that's a Caesar.
Okay, I'm telling you. Okay, that's
it has vodka in it.
Yes. But what is a Canadian Bloody Mary?
Beer and tomato juice.
That's what I just said. You're not listening to me.
Oh, but you said it called it a Caesar, but no, that's not a Caesar. That's a Bloody Mary.
They call their Bloody Mary in Canada a Bloody Mary is tomato juice and beer. And Safi is going, who mixes tomato juice and beer? Well, apparently the Canadians do.
You know what, Gail? Yes, it's a hot toddy. I love hot toddies.
Yeah, this is hot.
So good.
Yeah, this is hot toddy. I'm gonna. Actually, Beth, I was bartending, one of my many numerous jobs. I was a bartender once upon a time, and there was some guys that came in the bar, and they asked for tomato juice and beer, and I kind of looked at them like, what? And they didn't. I don't remember what they called it. Maybe they called it a Bloody Mary, and that's the first time I'd ever seen that. And it actually. Boilermaker, yes, it actually is not that bad. I do like a white Russian. Yeah, that's a good one. Or a black Russian. My grandfather used to drink black Russians. Those are good too.
So we're gonna have a sipping fun New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Day. I know, but a hot toddy would be good because then it's hot tea with something in it.
Yes. And Safia doesn't drink, but she likes all the ingredients. Yeah, I make what we call that a Virgin Mary. It has, it has the tomato juice, the celery salt, the salt and pepper, a little Tabasco, maybe a stick of celery in it. It's really good. Irish coffee. Yeah. That's kind of hard, Irish coffee, although I can't drink coffee anymore. So you just have Irish. There you go. A shot of Irish. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. No, I respect, but I think it's going to be interesting. All right. Stop pinging me.
It's not me. I'm sorry. It's not me.
Well, this is interesting. I got hooked, especially at Facebook this time of year. They've got all those ads, they're selling stuff and the screen. And I got roped into a company called TEMU. And they have all sorts of ephemera sticker type stuff at really reasonable prices. And I bought a shitload of stuff. And I figured it was one of those companies that will be weeks before it gets here. Those dings are saying that it's been shipped. And I ordered it yesterday. So shipped from where? I don't know. But we'll find out. And I can't wait to share. We're going to have some giveaways. Carol and I were talking about giveaways. We're going to start doing that.
Yeah.
I got lots of stuff to give away. Lots of giveaways. And
so lots and lots and lots of new stuff coming in the new year. So do make sure you're subscribed and you hit that little bell. If you don't belong to one or the other of our groups, please do, because we will post in our groups.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see when in our groups when we're going to go live. I also usually post on my community tab.
Mm-hmm.
So there are multiple places you'll be able to find us, and we're going to have lots of fun. I'm sorry, my hands are not in the stitching mode right now, so
it's okay.
We're gonna watch Anne, so you can make me small and you big.
They're okay. It's all cool. It's all.
I wouldn't be able to stitch if I tried right now.
I know. Well, it's over. It's over. Okay, I'm gonna go here.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay. All right. It's all right. Okay. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Yes, I'm trying.
I know. Thank you, Beth. You rock too.
Yes. If you haven't seen Beth, please do, and I don't know if we don't have any other mods in here except for Janet, but I could do that. I can go post some links.
Oh, yeah.
Go post some links to people.
Rebecca's in here. I want to ask Rebecca. Rebecca, that feature that you have on your stream where the person just has to type I share, and then the Nightbot finds their YouTube address. Is that one of the paid features for StreamYard? Because that's just a wonderful thing.
There's Beth's channel.
Oh, Teresa, the Lonesome Dove. Oh my gosh, you're new, right?
I think that's our Teresa.
Oh, but she's the Lonesome Dove. Are you giving away breakfast? Oh, I could give you some Starbucks cards. I could give you a Panera's card. Ooh. I could give away cards, couldn't I?
We could.
I have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, and it would be easy for mailing.
Yes.
Nightbot is free, Becca says.
Oh, I love that feature.
Rebecca's going to have to teach us how to set it up.
Yes. Do you know, you've seen that feature on her stream? It's so
Oh
cool.
yes, the exclamation point share. I love that because then you don't have to worry about the
The only thing is you have to ask people not to do it 20 million times.
continuously. Yeah.
But most people are very respectful. Oh, that's really, I like that. Yeah, that's too busy, folks, right? That's what I have. That's what we'll do. I do. Um, that's that'll be a great, because I mean, I've got Starbucks cards, right, folks, and and those would be great to give away, don't you think, Carol? Again,
Yeah.
they'd be easy.
I have a bunch of cards too that I've created with my own watercolor and stuff on them, and you know,
Yeah.
what cards are you talking about giving away? I'm talking about regular cards.
No, I'm
Oh,
talking
you're
cards.
talking gift cards. Oh wow, that is
Like,
an idea.
here's a $15 Starbucks card. $20 Panera's. Well, you have to, if you have a Panera's.
You know, we could even do Amazon gift cards.
Yes. No, I rather these because I already have them.
Oh, that's true.
I'm being cheap. Oh, how about? I'd have to check this one. This Carrabba's one. It says I have $50 on this one. That's a big one. I've got an Outback. That's been used. Books a Million. That's a local restaurant. Olive Garden. That's a local. I don't know how many of you people have Wawas. I think they're a New Jersey thing. Wawas have just started to show up here.
Actually, there's a Wawa up here.
Really? Okay, look. I've got $25 Wawa card. Well, I am. Well, because when I was a teacher, this is what I got. The kids would give us gift cards.
Don't they have expiration dates?
No, not anymore. No.
Wow.
No, they used to, but they passed a law. Nope, there's no expiration date on these at all. No. They are good forever.
Rebecca, that would be awesome. She can do a show on how to do the Nightbot thingy.
Oh, that would be great. I'm sure all of us streamers would love to know that. Yeah, I have this Essentials spa card for $50, but I'm just not that type of person to go in and get a facial.
Yeah, me neither.
This one may have expired because the kid that gave it to me, his mother owns this, and I had gotten a card from them for Christmas a year before this, and on that card it said it expired, but I could just find out. I don't know why it should expire. Just give me $50 worth of whatever. Maybe I could get a pedicure for $50. So that's where these came from, Gail. And they've been sitting in the drawer for years. But that would be a fun giveaway if people wanted something like that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
They could pick and choose. If you're gonna do one and you pull up your card, say if this is in your area, you can put a number in for.
Yeah, I think because they're just sitting there. They're in the drawer. Now, I used to use the Panera cards when I was going to the movies with a neighbor friend. I would buy lunch, meaning I'd have a Panera card, and he would buy the tickets for the movies. So.
Yeah, they did, Gail. They used to have expiration dates. Use by.
Yep. Yep. They passed a law in Congress several years ago and said that they could no longer do that. It was one of those consumer laws. and it's right. They shouldn't be. There's no reason for them to have an expiration date. David came out of the drawing room holding a sheep in one hand and a goat in the other. I'm hoping those are stuffed animals and not live.
Yeah, really.
Because, Safia, I don't know. You never know at Safia's household. They could very well be live critters. Okay, well, Gail, so you have a Panera's near you. The first Panera's I ever went to was up in Rhode Island. You have no idea whether it's live or not? That's scary. Really? See, I can't sew any. This is just too busy.
But it looks like my quilt. Come on. Put big things on it, instead of little things.
How about that? That's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's upside down, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, boss. Yes, I knew that. I knew that. Okay. All right. I'm going to sew that on. We're going to stitch something.
Yes, I am going to stitch something.
Or I'm going to stitch something. I promise you, something's going to get stitched before we vacate this coveted spot.
I'll work on a couple of letters. They may not look straight, but
that's okay. That's okay.
I'm sure Luna won't mind.
Right. What are the temps? It's warm here. It's Florida.
Right now it's 12 with a wind chill of minus whatever because I'm in the middle of that brutal storm. And the wind, I had to tie my screen doors shut this morning because the wind is so bad and you can't see past the little tree outside in my yard because that's how much the snow's coming down and drifting. And it's brutal. I mean, the snow is actually going sideways, literally 90 degrees sideways.
Yeah, it's 60. It's 62 here. I'm embarrassed to say.
And my power is blinking, so if I do happen to get knocked off from the wind, that bye in advance. And thank you for being here, and thank you for listening and understanding.
And I will carry on to the bitter end. But not a second after 11.
Yeah. And at 11, everybody can go to Rebecca's.
Yes.
Rebecca's on at 11.
We can drive that bus. Driving that bus.
Yeah.
Over to Becca's. Becca, are you going to have company today? Are you going to be crafting with somebody? Somebody going to be with you? I'm assuming.
Oh, well, I can't wait until it's gone, but I hear this is going to do this snow thing, and from what my phone says, that
till Sunday, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Teresa, this is not. I always lose power here, and usually when it happens, it's for days or hours.
Yeah. It's 1 - there. Yeah. Since last night. Yeah, I found that the power here, if it goes off, comes back on, goes off, comes back on, and it does that 3 times, and then it goes off the 4th time, then it stays off. That's just the way it's like 3 long blinks, and then and after 3 and it goes off, then it's off for hours. But again, I'm very lucky. My community has underground utilities, so very rarely do we lose our electricity.
Oh,
But really, what's going on with this storm? It's like a winter hurricane. You know, Beth,
it is. It's brutal.
it sounds like hurricane, but it's cold. And in some areas, they're getting lots of rain.
Yeah, Teresa, this is a major storm. This goes all the way up and down the U.S. right into Canada. It's horrible.
It's got a name. They name storms now. His name is Elliot.
I'm in the lower section of southern Ontario, and my area is also expecting lake effect.
Rebecca's saying it sounds like a paranormal, not your electricity. Well, maybe.
You know what? We won't go there. That's a story for another time.
No, I don't think so. Last week I had no water.
Yeah.
It was somebody, I don't know, a water main had burst, but they fixed it within, I'd say, 4 hours. They had it fixed. Beth, I figured you're going to be colder than I am because you are in the interior. No, you're not. You're north of me, so you'll be a little bit colder. The forecast for Christmas Eve morning is 37 degrees, but I don't think it's going to get down that cold. Well, let's see. I love ghost stories. Put them on the schedule for October. All right.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah, I love ghost stories too.
Ghost stories, true stories, lots of stories. We have them. We can tell them.
I took a class in parapsychology when I was in college. It was fascinating.
I didn't take a class. I was initiated into it naturally.
Okay.
It comes naturally.
Look at this. I thank you, Marty. Marty's saying that, when I was talking about the three things, her husband works for the electric company. And that's what he says. After the third flicker, it's lights out.
Oh, wow.
So that is a thing. Yes.
I've had quite a few. They haven't gone out yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah, right.
I don't want it to go out. It'd be too brittlely cold here.
I can't imagine. Yeah. Well, the nice thing about this cool weather for us here in Florida, I have not had my air conditioning on for a week. So the electric company won't be happy. Because my electric bill has gone up every month.
Oh, wow.
It has not been the same 2 months in a row. Every single month it's going up. Not much. A couple of bucks. But every month it's gone up. So.
See, lots of interest in the parapsychology and the paranormal. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Fascinating.
It is very fascinating. I've got lots of stories. Anne has stories. I'm sure a lot of you have stories. When we have our story time, wouldn't it be nice to have other people come up and tell their stories too?
Yes. They could come on and
When
tell
we
us.
have story time.
I think we should turn the lights off, have some candles, and then, maybe some spooky music in the background. We could have wind blowing. Story time. Yeah. I've never had a parapsychological. I've never had an encounter. So.
Oh.
So I'm a lightweight. I've never had an encounter.
I have.
I figured you had, but I've never had an encounter. Because I don't think they wouldn't want to communicate with me. They wouldn't want to come near me. Let's see. Up 26. I don't know whether that's more painful than what I'm dealing with. Mine went from $112 a month to $114. then 114 to 116. So it's just, they're getting me little bit by little bit, raising the price. Now, you know, it's 90 effing degrees here. And so it's hot. And it's been hot for a long time. This is the longest. I've lived in Florida for 23 years. This is the longest I've had to go to get to a point where I could turn the AC off. Usually I can turn the AC off by Thanksgiving. And now we're halfway, we're almost to Christmas, and it's just this past week that it's been cool enough to turn the AC off. Paranormal soup. One paranormal encounter as a kid, my son says. He's had many. Oh, cool.
Oh, nice, Gail.
Oh, that show. Okay, on YouTube. Okay. Interesting. I don't have the right thread. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I guess I used all the blue.
Uh-oh. Next one that looks similar.
Yeah, this dark purple will work.
I do that. I do that a lot. It's like, oh crap, I ran out of that color. Now what can we use?
Oh, I know. Well, dark purple, navy blue. I won't tell anybody as long as, you know, you won't. So.
Oh, no. It makes it more interesting. Are your eyes playing tricks on you?
Oh, there you
or
go.
Is it really a same color?
I know. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I got the good stuff. The
Gutermann?
Gutermann. I never know how to pronounce it. I got the Gutermann.
And I have some of that too. I have Gutermann, and when I do something like this, I also like to use my sulky, which is like having 2 strands of thread together. It's a 12 weight. So sulky, you don't have to tear anything apart. It's already stranded, so when you do it, it stays together.
The 12 weight, yes. I was reading somebody was doing something stitching wise, and they said they were using 12 weight, and I wasn't sure what 12 weight was. So this is just regular sewing thread.
Yeah, so something like that I would double, but the sulky is a 12 weight, and it's like 2 strands of embroidery floss.
Oh, okay. All right.
Becca says, ladies, she stayed in bed too long listening. Now you all have to stream a little longer until I'm ready with my coffee and my computer on. She always asks Janet Nash on Mondays to stream longer until she's ready.
We can do that. We're more than happy to accommodate. Sure. You just
just let us know. Give us the heads up. Okay, I'm ready. You can shut it down now.
Right. We can leave in a rush. Because now the hunt for the needle. Oh God, I hate this. Wow.
Gail says she needs an intermission.
We need an intermission, yes.
Pee break. Food break.
Yeah, we need an intermission. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Thank you so much, Janet. The fun continues tomorrow. Yes. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, after 8 I have it set for 8 a.m. So, you know, if I'm up at 2, 3 o'clock, I might start at 8:30. You just never know. So keep your eyes open. Sometimes I start earlier.
Yeah, and I'm the last to know. No.
It's a spur of the moment thing. No, I have all of my notifications set for 8 o'clock, and I never really start at 8 o'clock, but I do start usually about 8:30 and to 9 o'clock, depending. Sometimes if I'm, you know, having a little bit of issues in the morning, I will put it off for a little bit longer.
Because all we do remember, and Rebecca was there to hear me drop the F-bomb. I guess other people were too, because I didn't know we were live. And I get on and I'm going the F and this and F and that, and then all of a sudden I look And I see Becky and Carol didn't say anything. And I said, "Are we live?" And I think Carol said, "Yep." I said, "Whoops." I mean, it's not like you haven't heard that word.
Put some heat on my hands. Gail, that's not the issue. My hands aren't hurting. They're stressed.
She's stressed.
They're stressed.
But now the stress is gone because I've taken care of it. Just keep it real. That's right. Keep it real. It is real.
We do keep it real, and that's just it. We try not to bring the BS into our lives, except when there's names dropped.
Well, it's not. She's referring to butterscotch. That's what she's.
Oh,
no butterscotch. No butterscotch is allowed.
Yeah. There were names dropped this morning, so that's what upset me.
All right. Well, it's all good.
Yep.
It's all good. And it's best just to move on.
Yep. We will move on.
Move on. There's room for everybody.
It's okay, Gail. It's okay. Rebecca, are you saying that you had those virgin ears? Or are you being sarcastic?
There you go, Mary. That's right. Me too. Me too. Absolutely. Got to grow a big set of cojones.
Yeah, I kind of like initiated that process today, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I did it on your stream.
It's fine. It's fine with me. Because, I guess Carol and I are opposites on many of these things. Because bottom line, I love doing this. I like meeting people, hanging out with you. But all of the behind the scenes stuff, I just don't give a shit. And that's not, I don't. And you know why? Because it reminds me of 7th graders. And it's just not important. But it's so hard to ignore it, especially when it's addressed directly to you. And so
because the internet is a wide, vastly thing, and
it's hard to say I'm going to ignore it.
Rebecca used to stream over me when I streamed. What the heck?
Right.
I didn't get frustrated and angry with her. Mm-hmm. It's like when I'm done, I'll be there.
Right.
It's like let's support, let's share.
Right. Again, there's so much.
Epic. I agree, Andrea. Annie is totally epic.
Who's epic?
You.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. You can imagine, yeah. Well, I tell you, it was hard not to, sometimes when I was teaching, it was hard not to curse. I cursed at one kid. It was my first year teaching at Holy Trinity. And I had been teaching, which is a horrible thing to have to do. I was teaching 7th graders how to write a research paper. And that's just painful in itself. And again, and to read them is even more painful. But anyway, and this young man, he was a big kid. His name was Mike. And his mom was the phys ed teacher down at the lower school. Lovely woman, sweetheart. And I had told the kids over and over again, when you're writing a research paper, you do not start with, I am going to tell you about. That's not the opening sentence for a research paper. And I showed them how to do footnotes and works cited pages, and it was like a mini research paper, all the basic parts of a research paper, parenthetical documentation, all of that. And I got his paper, and the kids were sitting, they were doing something, and I started to kind of look through the papers, just give them a quick glance. And I picked up Mike's paper. The opening line was, I will now tell you about. I lost it. I just lost it. And then I looked at his works cited page, and what he had said was, the books I read were, he didn't follow any of the format. And we'd been working on this for 2 weeks. So I went over to his desk and I said to him, stand up. Now he towered over me. So I'm looking up at him, and I said to him, Mike, where the hell have you been for the last 2 weeks? And of course, the whole class, there was a collective gasp. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he just kind of gave me a goofy grin, and he wasn't upset at all. So I immediately went to the headmaster. And I said, oh, her name was Kathy. I said, Kathy, I screwed up. I cursed at Mike Harper. And she looked at me and she laughed. She said, first of all, Debbie would not care. And second of all, he's hurt a lot worse at home, I'm sure. So she said, don't worry about it. But that was one of I remember that. And Mike's all grown up now. I have no idea what he's doing, but that's how frustrated. You teach something for 2 weeks, day in and day out, and then the kid just didn't obviously sink in. But so I cursed a little bit. That's all right.
Just a little bit.
Yes, a little bit. Well, let's see. Not so all odd, Gail. We learned how from our Mexican friends, so the nuns didn't know what we were saying until they caught on. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, this was an Episcopal school, and the Episcopals are a little bit more forgiving than Catholics. Episcopals are pretty laid back. Oh yeah, they could get litigious, but not, absolutely. Oh, well, especially nowadays, I mean, this happened, well, the year 2000, the year I moved down here and took the job there. But you're right. I mean, some parents definitely, they're sue happy. But his mom and his family is a very laid back family. So, but you're right. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can tell maybe as we go through the year or whatever, I've got some teacher stories that, where I've gotten in a little bit of trouble. And there's tactics, there's things that you have to kind of do as a teacher to kind of protect yourself from irate parents. And I know, every child is perfect in so many ways.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. I always assume my boys were in the wrong, but they very rarely got in trouble, only occasionally. And it was for stupid stuff.
Becca says, hell is in the Bible, so all good.
There you go. It is. Absolutely. And so is ass. Yeah.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Oh, it is. It's useful to know some curse words in other languages. It so is. Yes.
I wrote on the board I wrote assume on the board in big letters. And then I circled ass, A-S. I circled the A-S-S. And then I circled the U. And then I circled the me. And I said, if you assume anything, you can make an ass out of you or me. So assume. And the kids were, and I didn't say it out loud. I just circled the words. And I said, assume. And about half the class started laughing. They got the gist of the assume. I said that to the guy that redid my car. He asked me whether I wanted to look in the back again. And I said, I assumed you did it correctly this time. And then I mumbled under my breath about, if you assume things, you make an ass out of you and me. Let's see, just because ass is in the Bible doesn't mean we're supposed to be. That's very.
Andrea, point. Yes. They do take it too far.
Yeah, there you go.
Well said.
Well said. Good point. Yes. This is true. That's right.
Oh, that was a big thing when I was going to respiratory school. Assume social.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, especially if you're dealing with people in medicine, you don't want to, you want to make sure you're not making a mistake. Oh, yeah. That's for sure. That would be very serious. Very serious stuff for, yeah, you don't want to be putting anybody in jeopardy. That is for sure. For sure.
Alrighty, I got the word done. Yay!
Let me see.
I got one word done. That's it. One word. This is unlike me. I always usually get more done.
Oh, come on now. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I got October done.
Oh, it looks great.
It's crooked. It's shaky.
It's all right.
It's par for the course. But I think I'm gonna do Luna Moon in pinks because she's a girl. So I'm gonna do hers in pink. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do those in. I haven't decided. And then I want to stitch down the little paws that lead to her because they're walking up to her name.
Oh, that's cool. No, I know. Of course, you can never assume anything in the medical world because it's life and death.
Andrea, definitely. Yep. I will. I am going to have
I will pinch her for you.
A little bit of a moment.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Yes, feel I am moving forward, and it's hard, but we will prevail.
Your support is a huge part, and we so appreciate you being here.
That's so true, Rebecca. Yes, I appreciate everybody here. Sorry for interrupting you.
That's fine.
I've been really bad at that lately. It's because I'm stressed.
Yeah, well, we want to bring the stress level down.
Yeah, I know. My pressure's through the roof.
Carol's trying to be more like me. And I'm
trying.
Be more like Carol. So maybe we'll meet in the middle and
we'll tell everybody to F it all.
Yeah. I am a very loving, not really, but I am a very nice person.
Until pushed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. Until pushed. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like people have to keep pushing those buttons. And then when the buttons get to that point, it's like, bingo. Sorry, it's all coming out now.
Right. We got it out. And I hope you know, Carol, this is not over.
Oh, I know it's not over.
But for us, for me, it's over. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. And again,
it's the backstabbing behind the scenes that gets to other people.
But that's what you ignore.
Yeah. I'm learning from Anne to be the bigger person.
It's not important. It's not. Yeah, it's just one stitch at a time. It's like one day at a time, one stitch at a time, moving forward.
Yep. Lots of fun. That's what we're looking forward to. Lots of fun.
You want to try to, bring obviously creative stuff for you. And I'm always on the look, and I'm sure you are. There's so many videos out there, so many talented people.
Oh, there's mega talented people out there.
And
I even watch people that aren't usually even in our little community area. Like I have been branching out so many different directions for peace of mind, for one, and to learn new ways of doing things.
Yeah. Well, Carol told me something that was really that I thought it was a really good thing to do, and I never thought of doing this. Carol goes out and looks for new channels and new crafters, and then she writes a comment and says, I really enjoyed your stream today, and I'm new to your channel.
Yeah.
And then usually the folks write.
And I usually say I look forward to watching more, because if you find somebody that's really interesting, do stop and leave them a comment, because those little comments mean so much. They do. Even if they're a bigger channel, they do see them.
Yeah.
I try to leave a comment anyway.
And then sometimes in turn, they go and visit your channel and they end up subscribing to your channel. So if those of you that are, looking to,
just build, and
yeah, that's a way of reaching out and kind of stepping outside of the community.
Yep. I will be doing that a lot more. Yeah. Becca's bouncing in her chair. Oh, she's ready. She's ready.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
That is way more than I ever thought would be, probably, for sure.
Drop the needles. Drop your needles.
Becca's bouncing.
Okay. We're going to bounce right over to Becca. Can somebody put a link in for Becca? Wow. Please, a link. Can you do that, Carol? You're good at links.
Yeah, I'm trying. I was trying to see what somebody was saying, and Mary retracted all her messages, so I didn't get to read what she was saying. I missed it. Rebecca. Oh, there you are. Go to channel. Copy. Paste. All right, everybody. There she is. The bus will be heading to Rebecca's at 11. She should be on now. So let's all go there. And thank you, everybody, for your patience today.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for being.
Thanks for listening and understanding. And see you tomorrow morning.
Yes. And
on my channel.
Okay. I'm going to end the broadcast and we can go over to Becca's.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.